guys, well here we are today in Mach 3, and I have recently just completed another Mach 3 CNC router ATC screen set. I made a good bit of changes with this particular screen, so I thought I'd kind of showcase it and just show you some of the things people request for custom screens. So here is our ATC screen. It's pretty much standard screen that I've been using for quite a bit now. We do have the air pressure OK input. This is input 4, which will give you a green LED as long as your air pressure is good. One of the main things here is the main screen. As you can see, it's quite a bit different. This gentleman liked the cinematic style screen. However, he wanted a large toolpath display. So I was able to accommodate that, as well as keep the same look of the cinematic screen. Some other features we've added here is on his system he runs a small vac that he operates with M7, and he also has a large vacuum system that he operates with M8. Of course, he can run them both at the same time, but he wanted to be able to turn on one or the other if he did need both, so I added these two buttons here. I've also added a park function, so he can go to his settings tab here and put in his park location. Then when he just presses park, it will automatically send the router to the appropriate park location. This could be for just to get stuff out of your way while you're loading material, or maybe to manually change a tool, however you desire to use this function. Also, he wanted the go to 0 function added. Now, this is something I don't typically use very much, but he wanted it on his router, so we've added that. Everything else is pretty much the same. It's just been kind of condensed. Another sort of change he wanted was this auto 0 function. Now, this button is on the main page here, as well as the offset tab, and here's where the changes have occurred. So in order to set the tool height, you would use this block here and put a movable touch plate on top of your material, set your Z0, then put your touch plate on there, and then put in the touch plate thickness, and it will calculate the tool length based upon the difference between Z0 and the thickness of the touch plate. Well, this is good for manually touching off your tools and going ahead and setting up your tool table. This particular gauge block height DRO here is the same as the plate thickness DRO located here for the probing. However, the auto 0 function operates a little bit differently. So the way this works is you will have two separate touch plates. One is a movable touch plate that you will use to set your Z0, and the second will be a fixed position where the tools will traverse to use the auto touch off function. So the way this auto 0 works is you place your movable touch plate on top of your intended Z0 location. This could be the top of your material, or it could be the top of your work surface, your sacrificial MDF board, or however your router is set up. A lot of router users use a sacrificial MDF board, and they set 0 to the top of this or the bottom of their part. If that's the case, then you'll place the movable touch plate there. You will move the spindle above the touch plate. You'll press the auto 0 button. It will touch off to the movable touch plate. It will deduct the plate thickness, and then it will 0 out your Z-axis. It will then fine touch, double check, and then it will traverse over to your fixed plate position. It will perform a touch off. It will do a fine touch, and then here in this DRO it will display the offset from your fixed plate position and your Z0. That way you don't have to calculate that. It automatically does that for you. It will update this DRO here as well as your DRO here for your fixed plate thickness. This DRO is again your movable touch plate thickness. This setup screen here is also changed a little bit. We have our normal touch off location X, Y, and our max Z. This is the maximum travel just below where your fixed plate position would be. Your touch off feed rate, your safe Z height. This is a height where your longest tool will be able to traverse your material without interference. Of course, these are all of our positions for our ATC and tool rack. Our clearance here, this is the position right above our tool. Over here is our load plane where the tool will slide in and out of the rack. Our center line of the rack and our clearance position. We have our feed rate, our delay. This is the delay for time to clamp and unclamp the tool. Up here we have our low air. If you are using a low air sensor and you want to take advantage of that, you just simply type a 1 in this DRO. That will enable this in the macro, and it will actually look for input 4 that I showed you earlier to make sure that your air pressure is okay. Our ATC sensor. These are the sensors. A lot of these new ATC spindles have sensors to let you know that the tool is clamped or unclamped. If you have those and they're connected and you want to take advantage of that in your macro, you simply enter a 1 there and it will look for these sensors. These are inputs 1 and input 2 on your spindle here, and this will change to green or red whether it's clamped or unclamped. Actually, that's input 3 on this particular screen. And then our touch off. If you would like to automatically touch off your tools after each tool change to find the tool length, you simply type in a 1 and this will perform a touch off and move to this touch off location after each tool change, touch off, and find your tool length. I think for most people this is not going to be needed except for maybe the first initial setup and maybe running one part, and then most people will probably disable this because it will speed up tool changes. Now another new feature I've added here is down here. This gentleman has a dust shoe. Now this dust shoe, he borrowed this idea from a video he saw on YouTube. I'll try to post a link in the video description here. And this dust shoe is attached with magnets, and so the spindle will come down Z-axis direction. It will clamp with the magnets, and then it will slide out of some forks. The dust shoe has little wings on the sides here, and it has little forks that it will slide into. So it will, the spindle will move in a Y direction and slide out of this fork, and then it will continue on machining. Likewise, during the tool change, it will drop down here. It will slide the shoe into the park position. It will lift up, go over and change the tool, and then it will come back and get the new tool. Once that is finished, it will go down, pick up the dust shoe, slide out, and continue on machining. This was a new feature that this particular gentleman wanted added to his screen, along with the program run screen. Pretty happy overall with the way it turns out. He is currently testing this screen, so we'll get some more feedback on this later on. This is the first time that I've created a screen that used a park position for the dust shoe. I have created screens in the past where the dust shoe would flip up out of the way, so they needed an output to activate a solenoid. But this is pretty unique and actually very simple design. There's really no mechanical parts that you have to worry with. So overall, very clever design and utilization of the macro to do this, I think, will make things a lot smoother. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Just another custom screen I created based on the customer's needs and wants. If you have a custom screen that you're interested in, or if you're interested in any of my other screens, please contact me through the website at www.cncforxr7.com. If you're interested in these videos, you find them fascinating, and you would like to be notified when new videos post, please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you'll get any updates and emails with any new videos that I happen to post. Thanks for watching the videos, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not, and most importantly, be safe.